You never really notice the exact moment your life starts to fall apart. It's not some loud crash. It unravels quietly, little by little. 1 minute, everything feels normal. The next, you're standing in the middle of a life that doesn't even feel like yours. It all started on a Friday night. Donna said she was going out with her old college friends. Just a girls' night, she told me, kissing me on the cheek. Don't wait up. But of course I did. I always did. Midnight passed. Then 1 a.m. I started pacing around the living room, phone in hand, checking for messages that never came. I told myself I wasn't worried, but deep down, I knew something felt off. At 2:37 a.m., the front door creaked open. I was standing in the hallway, arms crossed, trying to stay calm. But the moment I saw her, something inside me shifted. Donna looked like she'd been through a storm. Her hair was a mess. Her makeup was smeared. One heel dangled from her hand. The strap of her dress was twisted, stretched, like someone pulled it. Her eyes were glassy, and she wouldn't look at me. "You okay?" I asked, my voice quieter than I expected. She nodded too quickly. "Just tired. Can we talk tomorrow?" I wanted to yell. I wanted to ask where she'd been, who she was with, but I said nothing. I helped her upstairs. And when I caught a faint scent on her skin, something sharp and unfamiliar, cologne I didn't wear, I felt something crack inside me. Still, I stayed quiet. No questions. Not yet. I cleaned her up gently and pulled the blanket over her. As she started to fall asleep, she mumbled something I couldn't quite hear. It didn't make sense. "What?" I asked, but she was already out, deep in a drunken sleep. I stood there watching her, trying to figure out when the woman I loved became someone I didn't recognize. By morning, I hadn't slept. I sat in the kitchen with the same cup of coffee, untouched. My mind was racing, trying to make sense of what she'd said the night before. It didn't mean anything. What didn't mean anything? Something she did? Something she regretted? My stomach twisted with every possible answer. At 8:13 a.m., I heard her coming downstairs. She walked in slowly, rubbing her temples. Her face was pale from a hangover. She saw me and paused, not sure if I was angry or broken. "Hey," she said softly. I didn't answer. I just pointed to the table. Her heels were there, muddy scratched. Next to them, the necklace she wore was broken. A bead was missing. I'd found it in her purse, cracked, like someone had stepped on it. She followed my eyes and went pale. Then her face flushed. "Liam, I know how this looks," she began. "Do you even remember what you said last night?" I asked, keeping my voice calm. She blinked, trying to remember. Then she sat down, rubbing her forehead. We went downtown, me, Tasha, and the others. I drank way too much. Tasha said I fell outside. The Uber dropped my bag. That's probably when the necklace broke. I said nothing. And the dress? I asked. It looked like someone tried to tear it off you. She hesitated. I don't know. Maybe when I fell. Or someone bumped into me at the club. It was crowded. People were drunk. It gets rough sometimes. She was talking quickly now, trying to patch every hole in her story. But the more she said, the less sense it made. I watched her closely. The way her eyes darted away, how her fingers tapped nervously against the table. She was giving me an answer, but not the truth. Still, I didn't press her. Some part of me, foolishly, still wanted to believe her. Wanted to believe I was just being paranoid, that I was wrong, that she hadn't betrayed me. But deep inside, I knew this was only the beginning. Days passed. Donna acted like everything was fine, like none of it had happened. But I hadn't let it go. Not really. The broken necklace, the twisted dress, the look in her eyes, the unfamiliar smell on her skin. I was just waiting. Then one Thursday, I came home early. My last meeting of the day had been canceled, and I thought maybe we could do something. Grab lunch, try to be normal, but her car was already in the driveway. I walked in quietly. The house was still, except for the soft sound of footsteps upstairs. Then I heard her voice. She was on the phone, laughing, easy, carefree, like nothing was wrong. like her world wasn't full of cracks. I crept up the stairs and stopped just before the landing. The bedroom door was half closed. God! Ashley, it was wild, Donna was saying, still laughing. I didn't even plan for anything to happen, but after a few drinks, I don't know, it just happened. There was a pause. Then her voice changed, lower, excited. I didn't expect him to be that good. He's a machine. I mean, the way he took control, the confidence. Damn, he knew exactly what he was doing. I froze. My jaw clenched until I felt it click. She kept talking, laughing, unaware. It was supposed to be a one-time thing. Just one night. But honestly, I needed it. Liam's a good guy. He is. But he doesn't see me anymore. Not like Aaron does. Aaron. A name. Finally, she sighed. Soft, dreamy, breathless. I already told him I'm coming tomorrow night. He booked the room again. Same place, same time. And you better believe I'm not backing out this time. She wasn't sorry. Not even close. No guilt. No shame. Just excitement. I stood there gripping the railing, my heart pounding in my ears. Every word cut deep in the last. I should have barged in. Should have made her say it to my face. But I didn't. I turned and walked back down the stairs, one slow step at a time. Because now I knew, and that kind of quiet, brutal truth meant more than any outburst ever could. She hadn't just cheated. She chose to. She planned it. She wasn't lost. She wasn't confused. She was alive in it. And right there at the foot of the stairs, I made a decision. No yelling. No begging for honesty. I would gather every piece of truth and let it bury her. Later that night, after Donna fell asleep beside me, I crossed a line I never thought I would. I went through her phone. Her passcode was still the same. She probably didn't think I'd ever look. The first thing I saw was a message thread labeled Aaron. I opened it. Dozens of texts. Nothing graphic. She was too careful for that. But the intent was clear. You looked incredible that night. Still thinking about you. He wrote, tomorrow can't come soon enough. I've been counting the hours. She answered. I stared at the screen, my chest hollow, my pulse loud like thunder in my ears. I needed to know who this man was. His full name was saved in her contacts. A quick search told me everything. Social media laid it out like a confession. Aaron was married. His wife's name was Emma. They had 2 kids, a boy and a little girl. His profile was filled with happy family pictures, lakeside vacations, birthday parties, Halloween costumes. He looked like the perfect family man. And yet, here he was, sneaking around with Donna, just like she was sneaking around with him. The next evening, I watched her get ready, like she was going on a date. Because she was. I stood in the kitchen and watched as she carefully applied her lipstick in the hallway mirror. Intentional. Deliberate. She hadn't worn that red blouse in over a year. The blouse clung to her figure. Low neckline. Too bold for a casual outing. That wasn't just a shirt. It was for being seen. Her heels clicked on the hardwood floor as she grabbed her purse. I'm going out, she said, not meeting my eyes. Out where? Girls' night. Tasha's birthday, she said smoothly. Too smooth, too polished, like she'd practiced in the mirror. I nodded slowly, letting the silence stretch long enough to plant a seed of doubt. Nice, I said. Tell her I said happy birthday. She smiled, fake practice, and walked out the door like she had nothing to hide. 2 minutes later, I grabbed my keys and followed. A few cars behind, never too close. Just watching. She drove downtown and parked behind a small, quiet bar, the kind of place people go when they don't want to be found. I waited across the street. 10 minutes later, he arrived. Aaron, tailored coat, perfect hair, smug confidence in every step. He leaned against his car like he was posing for a magazine cover. Donna rounded the corner. No hesitation. She walked straight to him. They kissed like they'd done it 100 times. Her arms wrapped around his neck, his hands on her waist. She giggled. He whispered something in her ear, and she lit up like a teenager sneaking out after curfew. I took out my phone. Snapped photos, one of the kiss, one of the hug, one of the ways she looked at him, like he was the man she'd been waiting for all along. I didn't storm in, didn't demand answers. I just watched them walk inside, shoulder to shoulder, with the comfort of people who'd done this before. Then I drove home, alone, but now I had proof. That night, I called a locksmith. "I need the locks changed," I said. He came just after 10 o'clock. By 11:42 p.m., the house was mine again. Later, Donna tried the door. I heard the handle jiggle, then a knock, then louder knocking. Then my phone buzzed. Her name on the screen. I didn't answer. Then fists hit the wood. "Liam, what the hell is going on? Open the door." I waited, let her panic build. Then I opened it. She looked like she'd been through a storm. Makeup smeared, hair wild, one heel in her hand. The other probably lost somewhere on her frantic way back. Her face twisted in confusion and anger. "What is this?" she demanded. "Why can't I get in?" "I changed the locks," I said. "Figured if you're going to keep lying to my face, you don't need a key to my house." She froze. "Liam." I held up my phone, showed her the photos. Her and Aaron, kissing, hugging, laughing. Where do you want it to start? I asked, the lies, the cheating, or the part where you looked me in the eye and told me it was girls' night? She stared at the screen, speechless. "You're done here," I said. "Tomorrow I'm filing for divorce. Your things will be packed and sent to your parents' house." "Liam, wait, please. It's not." "No," I said. "You made it exactly what it is. Now get out." She didn't argue. She didn't cry. She just turned, wiped her face, and left. She never came back. The next morning, I was in a lawyer's office, explaining everything. By that afternoon, I had sent the photos to Emma, Aaron's wife. She replied within the hour. "Thank you for telling me." 2 days later, I heard she kicked Aaron out. Filed for divorce too. Donna tried to reach out. A few calls. Long text messages. Full of regret. Full of excuses. I didn't respond. There was nothing left to say. The divorce was quick. No kids. Nothing to fight over. 6 months later, it was final. I heard from mutual friends that Donna moved in with her sister. Word was she tried to contact Aaron again, but he ghosted her. Maybe his life fell apart even harder than hers. Or maybe he finally saw her for what she really was. I didn't care. I was free. At first, the silence in the house was loud. Too loud. Empty. It didn't feel peaceful. It felt lonely. But that passed. I went back to the gym. Took a solo trip to the mountains. Spent time with people who didn't lie to me. Laughed again. Slept through the night. It wasn't about finding someone new. It was about finding me again. And I did. Donna lost a husband who would have done anything for her. I lost someone I never really knew. But in the end, I gained something better.